Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marcus Bonner. I'm the software pre-sales manager here, and I'm just going to walk you through some aspects of SolarWinds. I'm going to take it as read that we all fundamentally understand the notion of systems management. The purpose of this is to talk about the completeness of vision that SolarWinds represents and why that represents an opportunity to you as resellers to be able to take this message to your customers. A very brief background, the organisation's been in business for about 16 years now. Any of you reading the trade press will see that they've recently been taken out of public ownership and back into VC. And the reason I mention this, and for those of you who've worked for US-funded VC companies, it gives you a level of freedom and flexibility that when you're always reporting to the Wall Street analysts every 3 months, you often lose. So this is an energising factor within the development of the organisation. Now, aside from the employees and so on, we have a very large number of customers, over 150,000. And these THWAC members, for those of you who are not familiar with the word THWAC, is in fact the user community. What this means is a very active and busy user community globally. What it also means is that in terms of brand awareness, SolarWinds will be one of those brands that your customers will invariably have heard of and very possibly have worked with at some point. The organisation has a global presence. They're headquartered out of Ireland. That's where the EMEA organisation is run out of, but they've added various other locations as well. As you would expect, there's 24/7 follow the sun support. The organisation has approximately 30 fully featured products, but they also have some free tools. And the great thing there is your customer can try before they buy. They can get a taster of what's out there, and before they put their, as they put their toe in the water, as it were, and they can then get the more fully featured products later on. So we're not asking them to commit up front, but we're giving that opportunity to see what the portfolio can represent and the kind of value that it can bring to them. And these are just some of the organisations that have been melded into the overall SolarWinds portfolio, and as time goes on, you'll see those architecturally brought together as well under some common infrastructures and platforms. Now, typically for IT management challenges, they find that often the current monitoring tools that they have are ineffective and they can't scale for those growing organisations. And that's very typical of some of the lower end technologies that really can't keep up with the pace of growth of organisations' complexity. But they also find that as they buy point products to plug various aspects of the portfolio that they're looking for, they find that they waste resources and they're having to go from screen to screen and technology to technology, and that they aren't interconnected in terms of the kind of information that they're giving, and therefore ultimately what they're doing is they're paying a lot of money for a disparate tool set that isn't really giving them the immediate response that they're looking for. So where SolarWinds comes in on this is that they have very, very broad vendor coverage. So by putting out the Orion infrastructure, for example, there's very little out there in an IT estate that they can't manage and monitor pretty much out of the box. It brings that tool sprawl back under one location, so therefore reducing that, and also it's extremely cost effective. In terms of the vision that we have for the portfolio, SolarWinds started off as a network management technology, where they've added systems and application management, now the database management you see there, and also security management. As we've seen with a number of other technologies here, security is very, very much on people's minds, and there are lots and lots of aspects to that security, and lots of things that we need to be secure about in this day and age. The product strategy is effectively that one size fits all is a solution that will not work. So the idea with SolarWinds is that you can take a component, or you can take a small implementation for a small organisation, but equally that the architecture is scalable up to tens of thousands of endpoints for very large customers. What we're looking at here is that the application performance is key. Ultimately, whether my server is performing well, or my database, or my network, is secondary to the fact that can I do business? Can I take money from customers in exchange for goods and services? And if I can't, then that's the thing that needs fixing. And ultimately that's replicated or represented in the performance of the application. So here, typically in the siloed version, everybody asked everybody, is it you? We generally blame the network person because that was the safest bet. But nowadays, as we move towards a converged DevOps architecture, everybody's wearing multiple hats, we're all team players, and we're all looking to resolve that position immediately. Now, from a competitive position, we would argue, I think with a great degree of assuredness, that the Big Four and their associate friends are highly expensive solutions, they're legacy technologies, and as such, SolarWinds offers a real incredible alternative to those organisations who've tired of the amount of money that not only the license cost, but also the services cost of tweaking these things. We're more scalable and powerful than some of the smaller organisations there, that typically, as organisations grow, they look to remove the likes of Pesca and Manage Engine and get a more grown up and a more mature product in that space. Now, in terms of our strategy looking ahead, not everybody can be everything to everyone, and we don't pretend to be that. What we say is that the areas that we're strong in, this is where we're moving forward. So in terms of network management, traditionally on-premise, we're moving to a hosted and SaaS-based technology model there. Server and application management, we're moving across all of the platforms. Within security, on-premise to SaaS as well. And finally, we have Pingdom, which is a real user monitoring, global location technology that allows people to test their applications from the outside as if they were actually a user. Thank you very much.